All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Mix Blends. Today's mixture we have
Blackwell,
Sam Shard,
Julia,
and the host with the most, Darius Wood. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Today we're reporting from Jeepers Creepers House of Pain, and today's episode is brought to you by Leatherface's
Help.
Handmade Purses. So,
Buy one.
buy one in Texas.
Blackwell touched
hell
the
yeah,
body.
Dallas, Texas. Shout out, I was
Go
just
there.
there.
Go there.
Let's not do shout outs to cities and states. I feel like that's crossing the line. No.
A-Town.
Peace out. What do we have for first topic?
Well,
It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
happy Halloween.
I mean, most of your costumes are shit. I've seen them.
Who'd you go as?
I did
So
it.
shut up.
I did
Self-loathing asshole.
Yeah.
As yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
It's pretty
I kept
original.
telling everybody, I'll wear a costume, I'll keep it real, and then I dab.
It's original and it's
Walk
meant.
away.
First off, I don't know why I love that. I love dabbing.
This is a lost art
But-
already.
Already.
It's only because
so early, and it's such a lost art.
Yeah.
it's only because like I dab on. You met Shaun White's girlfriend. What was her name?
He has a girlfriend.
What was her name?
Sierra.
Yeah.
Sierra. Joe the Bouncer isn't with us right now for the moment. He's in rehab, but he should be on his way here to get out of rehab. So
So
I
that
need you
game
to
is-
call Joe because
Transport is en route.
He just called me, so I need you to call Joe.
I will call Joe.
Like now.
Okay. We're gonna put him on
So-
speakerphone.
No, this is because I used to dab. I dabbed on her like 20 times that night,
Yeah.
Oh.
and she never noticed.
Is that his number?
Yeah. Cool. Let him know I couldn't answer because of that.
Yeah. His work.
What was the first one we were gonna do? Let's just pick one out of the grab bag that came today.
Worst trick-or-treating experience.
Alright. I can start.
What's
Joey!
Sir.
So I just talked.
Yeah, it was
I got pranked by my
Blackwell.
sister when I was like 5. She had a friend like dressed up as the Scream character, and like those fake knives with the blood on it.
Yeah.
Put on hold. He just told me to hold on.
Okay.
So I guess. What's
So.
up? Okay. So she had that fake knife with blood,
Yeah.
back then. Well, we were walking and doing trick or treating. She had her friend run up and stab my sister, like pretend to stab my sister, and like my sister had fake blood, and so she pretended she was dying on me, like on trick or treating. I ran home, cried so hard. It's like the worst night of my fucking life. It's like, Mom, she's gone. She's all like, my mom's like, what? I'm all
Gone.
like, Sasha, they fucking got her.
She's gone.
So,
Your
my
poor
s-
mom.
Yeah, well, she knew about it. And she let it happen. My mom's an asshole sometimes. But that's why I love her.
Yeah, I don't really have anything like my sister died. Wow.
It's a tough one to
Should I
stop.
went last? I'm sorry, but I just had to get it out.
I don't think.
That's why I really don't like trick or treating. Like I walk around with my son, I'm just looking at fucking other kids like with their costumes, like, like dude, like only that, like this kid. I was in the neighborhood. This neighborhood taking my son out last night, and this kid dressed up as Donald Trump, but then another kid dressed up as a Mexican, and they almost fucking fought. And it was hilarious.
I seen two bananas fight in a downstairs basement party in Iowa City.
That's incredible.
What's with the bananas?
It was
There were bananas last night trick-or-treating too when I went
Yeah,
out.
but this is when we went. It was like
it was original.
Brian
It
just
was
did
original.
the peanut butter jelly song on Family Guy, so everybody had to be a banana and hold maracas, and then they met each other, they shook up, and they fought right in the middle of this party. I guess if I had to have a worst experience for Halloween, mine would be the fact that I went trick-or-treating. This is the last time I went trick-or-treating, and I knocked on somebody's door, and the chick went, aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating? And I said, shut up, bitch. And I walked away from the door, and then I realized that my childhood was gone. One, because I might have been too old.
How old were you?
I can't tell you to this day. I don't remember what year it was.
It's
and
repressed.
two, because I lost all respect for my inner child by calling this 9-year-old woman a bitch.
Flipped her candy tray over it.
And
Clean that shit
it's
up.
like, at the time I was being told to grab one.
Just knocked over the
You
whole,
grabbed
Yeah.
more
the
than
whole
one.
fucking
Grab a
bowl of
handful,
circus
didn't you?
peanuts.
I grabbed about 3. I'm not a monster. Just because I'm dressed like one. I'm not. There's a human under
See,
here.
3 is enough to make a
Me,
statement
there's a
without
heart.
causing problems.
But then I realized that we went to a different house
My fucking
and we were trick-or-treating. It's the last house we went to, and this guy is super drunk with all of his friends, and he's like, yo, we gotta get these kids something. And he gives Johnny, shout out to Johnny O'Connor.
Johnny
by the way.
O'Connor.
He gives Johnny a can of corn, and he gives me a shoe.
What?
And that's the day I realized that you can drink on Halloween. And we should see where that route goes. So maybe, I guess, if I had to put anything down, that would be the worst.
That'd be the one.
Just because it's just like the loss of...
I think that's still pretty bad, the loss of innocence in a sense, in a
for
way.
sure.
You know?
Trick or treating just like changes. I don't know. It's just weird. Cause I work in a pediatric dental office, and so like I feel so bad because like even today,
Some shit.
like the dentist I work for, he just comes over to some kid and he's like, "You dressed up for Halloween like last night?" And the kid's like, "No," because trick or treating for them is tonight. So he's like, "You dressed up last night?"
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "No," and he's like, "Too old for that?" And the kid's like, "No," like it's just because it's tonight.
This dentist is all like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
It's the worst dentist of all
I
time.
just felt really bad for him, but like I also ran into somebody though.
Just get in the kid's face. I'm gonna pull your tooth.
There was a little girl that came in that didn't celebrate Halloween, and I had the most awkward interaction because I'm like I work in a dental office, so all day long I'm like, "What are you gonna be for Halloween? What are you dressing up as? Whatever." And I asked the little girl, I'm like, "What are you gonna be for Halloween?" And she just goes dead silent. And I'm like, all right. And I look at her mom, and her mom's like, "We don't celebrate Halloween." And I was like, oh, that's
Fucking
okay.
Jehovah's Witnesses, aren't they?
Pretty much, they're homeschooled like through a church and shit like that. And yeah, that. I mean, I asked the mom, and she's like, "You can just tell people." That's pretty much it.
I was forced on a holiday once. Well, not
You were forced what?
I'll get into it, but Black Bolt. Worst Halloween experience.
What's trick?
This
Trick-or-treat.
this was fairly recent, I suppose. I was a junior in high school.
Does that lean into let them know I'm interested?
I appreciate it. I mean, I love you.
Respect.
Why don't we say that more?
Just weird.
I say it. I say it all the time.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was a.
I love you guys so much.
I love
I love you guys,
I love
yes,
you,
I do.
Sam. I was a junior in high school. I was
This is last year for everybody that knows.
Shut up. I was dating this girl. Dated her for like a year and a half or so, and she and all of her family were like very, very religious, and she had never gone like trick-or-treating the traditional way. She'd always gone to like churches for their little Halloween events because it was this satanic, paganistic, devil worshipping holiday. Period. And that's not an exaggeration. That's legitimately what they thought.
It is.
And so it was me
Makes sense.
and
Yes.
a few of our friends. We devised this just entire scheme, so she could go out and trick or treat for the first time ever. And so got her a costume. We all went and we did all that. It wasn't so much the actual trick or treating that made it the worst story, but I ended up staying.
Razor blades and the apples, right?
No, it was the syringes and the M&M bags. But,
What?
yeah.
Shit's gangster.
Yeah. But
Black, will you put them there?
oh yeah, happy Halloween, fuckers. But we, after everything was done and over with, I was gonna stay at her house because her grandpa was at work for the night, supposedly. Well, and this was like a month into dating. Her family hated me because I'm just this devil worshipping satanic whatever because I listened to Metallica.
And you
But-
worship the devil.
Erroneous!
Erroneous on both accounts.
But her grandpa didn't show up. Her fucking dad shows up. It's like midnight. We went
Witching hour.
we went through like every precaution. Like I parked my car like 2 blocks away. You know, we had I had a getaway plan set up if we needed it, and it didn't really work out. But her dad walks in, and it's just I was just scared shitless. I jumped up. I was like, I didn't touch her. And he was just like, you know what? Just don't, Zach. Just don't. And this is the first time I'd spoken to him for more than like 5 seconds.
Were you inside?
Yeah, we were inside.
No, were
No,
you?
were you inside?
Oh,
Wasn't like we were both inside?
no. Oh,
You teach me that. What's that move called,
shit, you
man?
know how I do.
My dick.
But it made for a pretty terrible Halloween experience. I mean, because I was still in costume. Like, I had...
Pants down around the ankles, still dressed up and scream.
I wasn't wearing pants. We were laying down. I was getting comfy.
Yeah.
But I was stood up just in my boxers, no shirt on. And, you know, here comes Pops. You know?
Get the fuck off my
And-
daughter.
No, but he wanted... He wanted to be that person that knew exactly what was going on, even though nothing was going on, except for the fact that I was just in my boxers next to his daughter.
Y'all trying to podcast without me?
Joey!
Shut the fuck
Joey,
up.
Joey,
Yo, hit
how the
that
fuck
fucking
you
dog.
break out, bro?
Hit that dog, bro.
I'll beat this fucking dog. Shut up. Get on.
Little known fact, by the way, Halloween is more Irish than St. Patrick's Day.
Is it really?
Yes, Halloween's origins come from a Celtic festival for the dead
It's
called
Celtic.
Samhain.
Celtic.
Celtic, sir.
I went to St. Patrick's
Celtics
Catholic
more
school.
Irish than.
Celtic
Guess
is
what?
more NBA.
Both of you go fuck yourselves. Because I was reading something you totally just interrupted.
But yeah, that was it.
Oh.
It made for a pretty,
That's an awkward one.
a not so pleasant
That's
Halloween
actually-
experience.
That's an awkward one.
Yeah, I mean, it was still.
No,
my
it's
worst.
bad.
It was
It's
my
worse.
worst, to say the least. But I haven't had a whole lot of
Got
bad
collared your
experiences.
pants around
What
your
up?
ankles,
I wanna
man.
No, my pants
understand.
were on.
I
don't
want to
get it.
understand how it's more Irish than St. Patrick's Day. I went to St. Pat's
It was
Catholic
a
school.
festival.
I need
It's
to know.
called-
Yeah, it's what the origins of it.
Yeah.
Explain it to me. I
Do
don't
you
know.
even know
It's
who
called
St. Patrick
Samhain.
is?
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
how
I
it's
went
spelled.
to the school.
I thought we were a podcast. That's fucking history.
Joey, worst trick or treating experience.
We're going
Just look it up on Google.
Mine's pretty lame.
I know. Fuck me, man. I'm shit.
We gotta explain it to Julie because I am interested in that.
I will
So
read it later.
mine's pretty lame. Worst trick or treating experience is also probably the best. My sister's boyfriend at the time, Todd, went with us, and he took us to the best fucking neighborhoods there was, and we were just getting mad candy. But I hurt myself, so yeah, I hurt myself.
Got
So
Victoria in the fridge.
he was just. So I had to sit on the hood of the car and drive up and down the neighborhood.
Well, give it back.
Drive up. I'm gonna drink it later. Drive up and down the neighborhood, but mine's pretty lame. I don't have any
Did you
bad.
hear mine? Were you listening in on that?
I heard Darius's, and I heard.
Alright, so I'll repeat it for Joey, but my sister played a prank on me. She had, back in the day, the bloody knives, right?
Yeah.
Like with the gel knife.
Yeah, the blood inside the knife. Yeah, it looks like it's bleeding.
Yeah.
Well, she had her friend dressed up as Scream, and then like while we were walking down the street,
His name is
trick-or-treating,
Ghostface.
whatever. And she had her friend run up and pretend to stab her, and she had fake blood on her, and
Oh,
pretended
wow.
to die on me.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, so I ran home crying. Mom, she's gone,
She didn't make it.
I still can't imagine being your mom.
It's rough out there. But I got my candy though.
Yeah, I ate it. I ate it.
Just I don't know what's going through.
I don't know what's going on.
What happened, man? Mom, can I have this tonight?
Yeah. My mom was like, it's 8 o'clock on a school night.
Not too much, Sam.
The thing about Beggar's Night that I remember the most was the amount of kids in the 70s or in the 80s and 90s that would hit the streets. it'd just be hordes of kids. Like it was like an issue, like driving. You know, it was just ridiculous. You know, and now it's like I remember going up and down my mom's street, which was my grandparents' street at the time, and there'd be literally 50, 60 kids walking by, and you'd go through fucking 90 pounds of candy if you're passing it out. And now it's just like, and you can't say it's because of the society or like, you know, or, you know, you can't, you know, it's a failing tradition, you know. And because even back then in the 80s, there was the big scare. You could take your candy to any hospital and have it x-rayed and shit for stuff. And they never found any. Yeah, they never found anything. Because that whole urban legend about
there's not one relatable
razor blades
there's
and
like not even one relatable like death. Or
Exactly.
It was just a rumor that enough people
one
took
time
serious.
legend,
That's
yeah.
all it fucking takes
well,
with
no,
your kids.
there was a
And
documentary where they found out
propaganda.
like what the scare was is that some dad ended up killing his son and poisoned him and blamed it on the candy, and that's where the scare came
Can you
from.
imagine how much better trick-or-treating would be if instead of getting little prepackaged candies, like old fucking ladies came out with like baskets of cookies and like homemade treats?
You can still
Oh,
get
fuck
those.
you!
They would
We
get
used to
cold
get-
by the time I get home.
Or you eat
No.
them right after you get
When I was
them.
a kid, the worst thing you
But I
could
couldn't.
get.
That's the thing is, as a kid, you don't get that out. Mom's like, "Kid, until we get home."
What was the worst item you could get as a
Circus
kid?
peanuts.
Milk duds.
Mounds.
Oh, I love
Candy
mounds.
corn.
Candy
I was
corn.
gonna
Fuck
say
candy corn.
apple.
See, mine's like once again, my age is showing. Mine was a corn ball, popcorn
Oh,
balls.
those
Oh
popcorn
shit!
balls.
You get popcorn if you got
sugar
baked.
babies. I
If you
love
got
that.
baked
Sugar
goods,
You know-
you were just fucking furious as a kid. Now, as you guys are all adults now, you're thinking, I wouldn't mind having some baked goods, but as a kid, you're like, what in the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Nigga, at least you can do is give me some good and plenty, them little nasty ass black licorice candy. You gonna give me a goddamn muffin?
Give me some
muffin?
layers or something.
What I was saying about having the holiday like force when she was saying is like you're gonna go trick or treating, you're not. You're being a douche is it's a different holiday, but it's still a scary story. So I feel it kind of fits in. But me and my brother Nick, we went to Get and Go, and the tradition was we used to just smoke a bunch of weed at his house, and then we'd go to Get and Go.
Naturally.
And one, you either had the money to get the stuff you're getting, or you just ran out of Get and Go as fast as you could
Yeah.
with as much stuff as you could hold, and pray to God you don't drop your honey buns. Well, we're in line, and I remember the new Red Vault just came out. You remember Vault Soda?
Oh, yeah.
Fire.
It's still around some places.
Where?
Uh,
Either
Well,
way, they got the cherry.
that's
We got the
different.
okay,
Hold on.
we got a cherry. So, Cherry Vault was like a big deal. So,
Yeah, Cherry Bowl was
standing in line, and this dude's like, "You guys gonna do? It was 4th of July. He's like, you gonna light up some fireworks?" And I was like, nah, I didn't pay no attention to it. And they're fucking wrestling herself. He's like, "You gonna light up some fireworks?" "No, you gotta light off fireworks, man. You gotta light off fireworks." And I'm like, "No, we ain't gonna light off no fireworks." So I finally turn around. I finally turn around, and this dude is burnt like at 90% of his body.
Oh my god!
And
like legitimately?
come here.
You just met
like,
Freddy Krueger.
legit hat down low. 90% of his body is burnt, and he's telling us how much we have to light off fireworks. So I get creeped out by it, and now I'm just making awkward conversation the entire time that it's happening. And we get out there, and to get home, I'm high. To get home, we used to take this shortcut through this creek behind this little cul-de-sac area. So we ran through the cul-de-sac area. We're out of breath. We get there. We're laughing about how stupid it was, that we were scared. But then I said, "You know why he's burnt, right?"
Yeah,
He goes,
fucking fire.
"Why?" And I'm like, 4 years ago, on this very day, he was in a huge bottle rocket accident. Scorching.
He said to his friend, "You ever seen 97 lady fingers lit up at the same time?"
And he
He's like,
said, "It can't be done."
"Neither have I." Yeah, I know. One year I came over to Mom's house. This is in Davenport, and you and Marky were there, but you were asleep. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know why you didn't go with me, but for some reason you guys didn't go trick or treating that year. And I think you may have been sick. So because one of you was sick, they went out drinking. So I grabbed Marky and I was like, "Let's go." He's like, "I don't have a costume." I said, "You don't need a costume. Let's go." So I took him to, this is in Downpour, so I took him to all the best neighborhoods and shit, drove him around, and it just started pouring down fucking rain. I was like, you think we're stopping? Put my coat on him. It's super cold out. And we still hit like fucking 8 blocks. And we were the only ones on the street. It's pouring down rain. And I'm carrying him the whole fucking way. And to this day, Marky's still like, remember that Halloween? I'm like, yeah, remember? That was probably my worst Halloween. When I think about it.
Our other topic, by the way, was, speaking of Halloween trick-or-treat, best trick-or-treat joke.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to think about. I mean, I had a go-to one. It's garbage.
Everybody.
What is it? It's gotta be garbage. You knew it as a kid, right?
Yeah.
But I used to be.
So yeah, it's
I
gotta be
used to be
terrible.
salt that I have no fire jokes that I can like.
Yeah.
Like the bowl starts sizzling.
But what is it? What's your terrible joke?
Mine was, why did the cookie go to the doctor?
Why?
Because he felt crummy.
Aww,
And I used to
that's
drop that motherfucking baby like a fucking mixtape.
So imagine.
And they'd be like, oh, and I'd be like, yeah.
I didn't have
Give me the shit!
Dad bought a just some candy.
I wonder how many kids are dabbing today. Today's generation trick or treating is like, oh, thanks. It's just one.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, but I used to drop that cookie joke.
I always
Or the
knock knock. Whatever knock knock. Yeah, I just make shit up. But I usually had the one joke I used all night long. Just whatever's the fastest. Knock knock. Who's there? Chicken. Give me my candy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Chicken
My
who?
son-
Hey, get back here. Chicken who?
My son, I tried to teach him a joke, but he didn't like it. I just tried to teach him, like, trick or treat, smell my feet, something, give him something good to eat. He went up and goes, smell my feet, and took the candy.
It's like, wait a minute. What? It's like, you heard me, bitch. Smell my
And then as
fucking
he
feet.
walks away, he goes, happy Halloween. And I was just like, why is he 7? So I looked up, knock knock, like Halloween jokes, and I don't know why. I don't know if I like what treat do eye doctors give out on Halloween?
What?
Jesus.
Candy corneas.
Right. We're not reading no more of this. So imagine this. I'm in 4th grade going into 5th. We moved from Des Moines to Davenport. So my first Halloween up there, we're living with my aunt. So my 2 cousins are about my age. So they're female, and I'm talking to them. I'm like, so yeah, you guys ready for trick or treat? Like, yeah. I was like, what's it like up here? They're like, it's awesome because Illinois trick or treats on Halloween. So we can trick or treat here, and then go across the river tomorrow and fucking trick or treat. And I'm like,
That's dope.
are you fucking kidding me?
Two.
That's fucking possible. That happens. And they're like, yeah. I was like, so let me ask you a question. Kid to kid. So do you, when you go house to house, do you use the same joke house to house, or you switch it up? And they're like, what do you mean jokes? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What do I mean? You got to tell a joke to get the candy. And they're like, what? And they're like, nah, here we just say trick or treat. And I was like, that's fucked up. But I mean,
More power to you.
yeah, I mean, and that's how it was. And nobody knew what the fuck I was talking. I asked I did a census.
I mean, if you just want to thrive on mediocrity.
Yeah.
I
So,
never heard
but
of
me,
telling a joke.
pure
from trick or treat
original?
until I was older.
really?
Really, I never heard of it until I was probably like way past.
What a lot of people don't understand is that the kids are asking you for trick or treat.
Yeah, like,
so
it's
technically,
your pick.
it's up.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody.
There would be
I want to
people
see somebody
that would like
juggle.
ask a joke for a joke, but I didn't get
Like,
it.
I just want somebody to be an asshole, and they go trick or treat, and he's like, shuts his door.
Start juggling.
Just comes out.
Juggles, shuts
Take
his
the card.
Shuts
Yeah.
his door.
Is this your card? What? Nope. Can't.
There's
If you
that
show me a
line.
bomb ass fucking trick, I'm gonna give you the whole fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Period.
But
The
no,
kids
wait.
don't show the tricks because if you got kids
Wait,
dancing
wait.
for candy, you're going to jail.
Are you saying trick or treat so they can either do a trick to entertain you or give you a treat? So
No, but
should
he's saying that you, like the person.
the homeowner.
Yeah.
Like you could barter for the candy.
Yeah. So they come up and they go trick or treat. So you could just be like, like you said, juggle some balls, and they're just like, whoa. And you're like, yep, deuces. Fuck
Yeah.
off my book.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
It's
You'd be
trick
the-
or treat.
I mean, word would get out real fast unless I start coming to your house.
Yeah, you get eggs.
Yeah, but you
there's-
get excited for this time of the year.
There's a vine where it was like, they're like, trick or treat, and he's like, oh, I got a trick for you. They're like, we'd rather have the treat. He's like, the fuck off my porch.
Was that who did that line?
Oh, so was it the dad?
Oh, yeah.
Who's got the awesome life
Yeah.
with his kids, and they're just funny.
So
And Aries is putting on Ugg boots and running around the house looking goddamn tarred.
So are they really shutting Vine down then?
That's
Vine?
what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard
Mine's
that.
gone.
Well,
yeah.
this
was
It's
all-
gone
it's
in the
not-
next like.
it's
couple
not
months.
gone. The website is still there, and everything
Okay.
that's been uploaded to the
It's
site.
still there, you can still see.
But they're not taking any more uploads.
When are they going to stop taking uploads?
In like February.
I'm just going to get on there and just Vine
a
my
little
ass
Yeah,
off then.
shit.
I got a bunch of them on there.
Leave your
Yeah.
manifesto via Vine.
Do
Yeah.
any of you guys have like a go-to like Halloween movie you have?
I was
to
just
watch?
going to bring that up. Was a Halloween movie, and I like Nightmare Before Christmas because it's a transitional period.
Yeah. It's
a
Like
good
if you
one.
watch it in November,
I'm
you're
sorry,
gay.
thank you.
But if you watch it in
October,
you're
you're
cool.
Yeah.
If you watch it in
You watch
Christmas,
on Christmas.
you're cool.
You have
If
to
you're
watch The Nightmare
if you're
Before
watching,
Christmas.
if you're watching Nightmare Before Christmas in November,
It's honestly a good one for like either, but I've always seen it more as a Halloween movie.
November
personally.
is for the peanuts.
Yeah. If you're gonna watch Nightmare for Christmas on Christmas, you're kind of weirdo.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody
it for a
knows
Christmas
that
story.
fucking Christmas Vacation is the only Christmas.
Hell yeah!
Thank you.
that's the one that
Ah.
matters.
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah.
And if I want to get nostalgic, I'll watch Christmas. What's that? Christmas Story?
Oh, the dude shoots out.
Yeah.
What was it?
I've never even seen that
When
movie.
we
You've
was-
never seen a Christmas Story?
No.
When
It's
we was living
classic,
together,
man.
Because they always play it back to back to back on TBS, and I was
Because
ignoring
you know why? Because TBS owns it, and they're the
Really?
only one who can play it.
That's,
So
I
if
mean,
you're
that
gonna
makes
watch
sense.
it, that's
but
when
I
you gotta
didn't know
watch
that.
smart.
Yeah.
But what was it? We watched a Christmas Vacation marathon played for like 2 weeks,
Really?
and I think me and Joe watched that movie. I'm
Yeah.
talking from the beginning to the end, probably 8 times that week.
It's-
See, I love the
it's-
original
it's
Vacation.
Hands
The
down,
Christmas
the best
Vacation
Christmas
is my
movie ever
favorite.
made.
Absolutely. Other than Die Hard.
Oh, that is such
Gremlins
a fucking
beats that.
hipster thing to say.
Word.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Come on, Julia.
What are you talking
Sorry.
about? What did he say?
I'm joking. I like
He
that.
said
she
Christmas
said-
Vacation is what'd you say the
The best hands down.
In my
Christmas movie
opinion,
ever.
the best Christmas
And
movie.
then
And
she
she
said
remodeled
Die Hard.
it
What?
Die Hard.
Was what?
Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
And
And
then
you
she-
said
Die
Die Hard
Hard.
beats that?
Yeah.
Just because it took place on Christmas.
Yeah.
What else does it need to be a Christmas? I'm sorry. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas is forever my favorite
About
Christmas movie.
Christmas.
I mean, but that's not anything.
The
Tyler
cartoon or
Perry's
Jim
Christmas
Carrey?
Story.
It's a close
The
second.
cartoon or Jim Carrey?
No, the Jim Carrey one. I
I like-
liked it.
I like
I
the
grew
Jim
up on
Carrey
that.
one.
I used to watch it on.
He had to have a professional, like, military trainer come in.
You had to have
talk him
training
at
from
him.
CIA to like train him to do shit. Yeah.
No, he
On
was
what?
like, no,
What?
he was
CIA
he was getting so claustrophobic in that suit and having to deal with putting that thing on and sitting through makeup that he had to have like a military therapist come in to talk him through making it through his scenes because he was going insane inside of the suit.
That's awesome.
That is kind of.
I love that movie more now.
But even then, if you think that that's bad, that was when the early 2000s. Think about the 80s and 90s, and they're putting on makeup and they're in the chair for fucking 9 hours before production. So production
Yeah.
starts at 6 a.m. They're in there at 3 a.m. or whatever, or fucking the night before or whatever.
Isn't it Jennifer Lawrence that has like a thing in her contract now where they can do like mostly CGI for her Mystique because she doesn't want to sit in the fucking makeup chair for
She's not
9
doing
to 10 fucking hours
She's
to
not
do
doing it anymore.
Yeah, like
But that's my point, though. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays they can just, we'll just digitally. That piss ain't even real. That's digital.
But
So,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, it's Halloween. Let's talk about a little bit of horror shit and shit. When it comes to the classics, man, like you look at the new thing, and yeah, it's good,
It holds
but
up.
it's not scary as the Kurt Russell remake,
When that dude's
Because-
stomach open,
dude.
That's-
Because it's
yeah,
actually
horrifying.
something opening. And his hands are going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's-
You can see the fucking difference. I don't care
No.
how good it looks CGI. You know it's not real. And I think that's why when I was a kid, I was scared more because it was somebody in a suit dressed up, or it was a monster,
That movie
puppet.
still kind of bothers me to this day. That scene in general, or when the dude's like face fucking opens up.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But they're sitting in a chair, and the dudes are like, "Dude, what?"
No,
Get
when
us
he
the
was
fuck-
when he started shaking
Yeah.
his chair, you're just like horns. What the fuck?
what? And then it just like split open. You're like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?"
man. I don't. Yeah.
the
yeah.
thing's up there definitely probably top 3 for
Or-
sure.
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
It's horror movie and science
We were
fiction.
talking-
Seriously.
Yeah.
We were talking, me and Michael were talking about horror movies earlier, and then I brought up The Thing, and then I brought up American Werewolf in London. So I think it just holds.
Yeah,
and let me tell
it
you
holds so
something.
much weight to me.
The nice thing
does.
about American Werewolf in London is, if you actually watched it like
Are you
I
talking about
have,
American Werewolf in London?
yeah, the nice thing about it is,
I love that movie.
they don't show the fucking werewolf till the very last scene.
And that's
Yeah.
what's so great.
But
about
that's-
I mean, you
that's-
catch a couple glimpses of it.
But that's how you make a
Yeah,
monster
but-
movie.
That's how you
make
know.
them scary.
But that's how you can tell that it's good writing. It's
Put
good
your ass cheek
directing.
on my shoulder, Julia.
And
You know
that's
what
what
I
I liked about the original
On
Jeepers
purpose,
Creepers.
too.
Remember how long you didn't see what he
Yeah,
looked like?
yeah.
You saw from a distance like just
Yeah.
the hat and the outline of what he was.
But
and then you see that motherfucker's face and you're like,
but
what?
so
Demon?
there's an argument about that. So does that mean that it's a better movie because they didn't have to have the monster, or is it a better movie when they show the monster right off the bat and he's still scary till the very end?
That's
Okay,
really
so when you make
good.
it to where he's still,
That's
when you make it still scary, yes. But I actually would like it better if you didn't show the monster until the
See,
very.
it depends. It just depends.
it's
I
maybe
think
in two different aspects.
I think
Yeah.
with it going all the way through is that the monster becomes adaptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
As opposed to but I mean, it's two different feelings that you're getting. One's in like anxiety, like me and
Anticipation.
Ashley watched Jeepers Creepers. She's never seen the first one,
Never seen it.
and she's like, "This movie's giving me anxiety because
Yeah.
finally when the moment comes where it shows the truck that he's driving
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and just seeing like you're kind of basically seeing a shadow of a man with a hat on the
Yeah.
entire movie." And she's like the second one. She liked the second one. But I mean, when you watch the second one, you knew what you were getting yourself into
Right.
because you've already seen it, and you know that's what I mean about it being
Right, and then when
adaptable.
you haven't seen,
But she's
Jeepers
like
Creepers.
legit like, and she's asking me like, "What's happening next?" Because she's scared of what's
but
going to happen
here's the
next.
thing.
Andrew
Here's
did the
the
same
thing.
thing when I first.
Part of that is the anticipation of the monster. The other part of it that brings on the anxiety is when the people aren't doing what they should be fucking doing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why the fuck?
Because it kicked in.
Why are you doing?
When she
Oh!
fell, when he fell down the pipe. Well, first she's like, when he's like, "When you go back," and she's like,
Yeah.
You know?
Why? Yeah.
And
yeah.
then-
That's the
So-
biggest thing about.
He brought it on
But
himself.
me and
the
her
whole movie,
discussed.
by the way.
Me and her discussed it too, and it's like I think there would be a sense of me that would have to know.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, I can see the both part, but
It's not.
I
It's
told
not
her-
that. It's not that. It's the good Samaritan. What if that was you?
That's what we got into. Is that's what he says, and he's like, okay, what if it's you? The final question,
Yeah.
which makes it worse. But then she's outside, he's in there. People are petrified. She's looking at
Yeah.
the house pain. Shit's getting real, and she's like, this movie's giving me anxiety. You know?
Yeah.
Right,
I
and
see
that,
it.
and Derry, like I told Joe, like I just said, he brought his ending on himself.
Yeah.
He stole that fucking ring too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's. I don't know, bro. Well, anyway, so like I was saying, if the only thing that there's a lot of movies that had good movie makeup, good in the older movies.
Sometimes
But-
it's the terrible makeup and prosthetics that make it so good.
Yeah. But I don't remember what movie you guys
You
were
were
talking
good.
about. Oh, American Werewolf in London. Okay, so I didn't find that scary as a kid. The only thing scary about it was the very first scene when they were in the meadow or in the grove or whatever, and the scene where he changed. That was the two scariest things. A scary werewolf movie from my childhood was Howling. That shit was fucking
That
That
terrible.
shit's messed me.
Nuts.
Yeah,
And it was kind of a twist because I was about 12 or 13 maybe when it came out, because you had to watch it because there was a bunch of fucking nudity and sex in it, but yet it was still fucking scary and shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't like them. I think they're a lame storyline. I think it's stupid now, but
So how many horror movies are watched for the story? Initially.
initially, yeah,
Initially.
okay. Well, that's where the gaff is, I guess. Maybe when you think about it, what it comes right down to is scary movies that are just a bunch of jump scares, or scary movies that actually have
Fuck jump scares.
Well, I don't mind jump scares as long as
There's some
I
decent.
I feel like
jump
Scream
scares.
was the ending point for where you watch Halloween or where you
Yeah.
watch Halloween movies from past that point.
I agree.
Because like
well, there's a bunch of different genres and classifications to scary movies. You know, there's the slashers and there's the
Really?
Yeah, the
thrillers
psychological.
and zombies. Yeah.
I'm just saying for like Halloween purposes, when Halloween rolls around, like I feel like nobody's like, oh, it's Halloween, we need to pop in Insidious.
Right.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no. And you know what? And I think the only holiday that's really like that is Christmas.
But like you said, and you know what it is that he said it earlier, is it's becoming a dying ritual. So you watch what you were watching when that ritual was.
Well, because like Halloween
you're
isn't,
watching
like,
Halloween
scary.
on Halloween,
Yeah.
period. Even if you don't like the Halloween movies,
Yeah.
you're gonna watch a Halloween.
That's a good.
And it's just a preference because like
And I-
back then it's almost like you can smell the atmosphere of the movie when you're watching.
I
it.
think,
you can.
and there's a reason for it, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. On Halloween, as a child, you watched a scary movie. Maybe when would you watch it though? That weekend before Halloween, or if Halloween fell on a weekend.
right.
But on Halloween, Hallows Eve, you're trick or treating. On Halloween,
You're busy.
you have the dance. So, or whatever activities at your local whatever. So you're busy. See, and you don't get any days off for Halloween.
Right.
But during Christmas, you get a whole week off. And usually the weather is inclement, so you're stuck in the house.
Yeah.
So you have these Christmas movies that were playing on TV. You know what I mean? And that's what it boils down to is, and that's why people like my age have those movies that they remember, is because we weren't renting movies. We didn't have movies at the disposal, at the tip of our fingers. We watched whatever was on TV, and you couldn't wait for a Christmas Story to come on or whatever, and the Charlie Brown Christmas and all that shit like that. And that's why I get nostalgic when I see those. Now I can't watch them now except for Christmas Story, like I was saying before. But I mean, yeah, I think that's more. I think to me that's what it is. Why there is no
Sure.
Halloween movie.
To build
You know
off
what I
of
mean?
that too, I don't know, like as somebody who just went trick or treating with a 4-year-old last night, and you went trick or treating, how many scary or like horror based costumes did you see out and about?
You don't see too many.
No.
No, I mean it's princesses.
So I'll
it's
tell you
Minnie
what I
Mouse.
just
Like my
seen
son went
Leatherface
as
on the
Darth
dance floor.
Vader, and he was probably the
awesome.
scary, like the only villain that was even. You know what I mean? Like
So
it's
I'll
just
tell you
not
what I
scary.
saw.
Yeah,
I saw the kids dressed up, no horror costumes.
yeah.
Parents.
Oh yeah,
Parents.
were
Yeah.
Parents were dressed up.
Well-
There's a parent dressed up as Freddy taking his Power Ranger to the door.
Well, yeah, because
But that,
well,
and
but
that goes
that's
into what he's saying.
that's
yeah.
the point though. Because when he was a kid, Freddy was scary.
Right.
So now that he gets that's the whole point of having a little kid.
But if
Now
he
you-
doesn't want to be scary now,
now-
they want to be whatever character they can't be on
But
the
the,
day-to-day
but the
basis.
point
like
is
17 characters.
as an adult, like right now,
Right?
I
Minnie
can't
Mouse?
I can't dress
I
up.
didn't see any of those.
I can't dress up and go out and walk the streets. I'd be a weirdo. D can. D can dress up, take his son out, so D gets to still dress up. And when you have kids, that's just like at work. My coworker was showing me pictures. Their kids are wearing little torn up clothes in the zombies, but the adults are wearing fucking $200 fucking outfits to look like the Walking Dead cast.
Absolutely.
And the kids are just dressed up as zombies.
That's what I was
You
saying.
know what I
I said
mean?
this on a Facebook post to somebody. I don't like people who complain about. I've seen this post numerous times on Facebook. Oh, it's just Halloween is for sluts now and this and that, blah, blah, blah. One, you're shaming. Two, the whole point that I said to the guy is that the Halloween never changes. It stays exactly the same.
the
You just
people
remember it a
change.
little different because it might have been slightly richer at the time. And maybe social media does have a little bit of effect on the type of things that people want to go as and stuff like that, but that's expected.
Yeah.
I went as the things that I went as because of what was based off what
Your
I probably
influence.
watched on Saturday
I
cartoons
went
or
to
something
what I
that-
could afford.
yeah,
What my
or
mom could
something you can
afford.
afford. So
Absolutely.
that's the one part of the Halloween that you get. As you get older, you have the option to do that moment where you dress up in adult costumes because now you're an adult. If you can't knock on doors, why not dress up like an adult and go out drinking?
Right.
And then you have the
Yeah.
ones who are parents who get to relive that inner child back again. So the Halloween never changes. You just get older.
Yeah.
Well, and it's
and as you get older, I'm sorry,
No,
as you get older, your rituals change. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm saying.
And I know, just like you had said earlier, when you're a kid, it's about trick or treating, but as an adult, it's about drinking. And like you said, when you're walking around, these motherfuckers are hammered. Well, yeah, because that's what it is, and it hasn't changed. The only difference is like I just said, when you get older, you get to spend more money on your costume and go out and do all those
Yeah.
things, or or throw a party, a Halloween party, or whatever.
And you tell me there wasn't sexy witches or sexy cats back in the day?
No,
Oh,
You're
yeah.
lying.
Yeah,
but,
there was.
But you know what the thing is that now, and like I was saying, is that fashion is different, and a certain stuff is acceptable now
Yeah.
more than it would have been
Yeah.
back then.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
a sexy cat from back then and a sexy cat today may look different, but
girl in her thong and underwear.
yeah, but
Running
then,
around.
but then
That
what
is-
she was doing was like, oh, that's sexy, that's revealing, as compared to the same
in
today.
the 80s.
Yeah.
If you go any further back than that, then no, there really wasn't any of that sexy shit. And what they perceived as being sexy was different too.
And that's what
it
I'm
was
saying.
less revealing.
Is
yeah.
that
And
it's almost it's equivalent. This one can be at a different era and be showing
Yeah.
less,
Yeah.
but still be as equivalent as today. A
Yeah.
woman wearing just
Yeah.
you know, or
Basically
underwear.
butt naked.
Yeah, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
so kind of tying into that, as you know, going from being young and getting older, you know, just kind of transitioning, whether it be growing up or your outside influences, what do you take more from Halloween? Is it the fun factor or the scary factor?
I like dressing up, and I'm somebody that like we weren't big on like horror films. Like when I was a kid, like I look at my old like back when let's admit it, when your parents dressed you for Halloween. Like I dressed my kid for Halloween. He's 4. Like I let him have a say in it or whatever. But this is the first year he really got to pick anything.
I didn't get a fucking say in Halloween.
No, I was like a fairy princess. I was a whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't see it as scary. I see it as something fun to dress up as. And that's what I'm passing on to my kid. Like, you know, this year he was Darth Vader because he's into Star Wars. Last year he was a Power Ranger because he's into Power Rangers. The year before that we were Mario, Luigi, and Peach. I mean, it's just like I try to tie in my own shit, but give him his own. But it's entirely, if I was raised in a way of like horror and this is a scary holiday and like you're gonna go as like something creepy, that would be what I'm passing on. But it's not. So I go as like a fun character.
But if you think, okay, so in that same sense, you gotta say it like this. Okay, if you go back to the 70s, 80s, whatever, and you say what were the scary costumes? It was a vampire, Frankenstein, the Mummy, shit like that. It's the same thing as dress up as a zombie now. So I think that the whole point of it is to have fun and be scared at the same time.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say it's a little bit of both for me.
Yeah.
Well, so not necessarily on the dressing up aspect, but just overall. Like for me, for example, you know, when it comes to Halloween movies, it can kind of depend on, you know, how I'm feeling on that particular Halloween. But there have been Halloweens where I'm just going for the straight up, like say movies, for example, like terrifying movies. But there are also Halloween based movies, you know, that are like out of comedy, and I'll watch some of those.
The thing of it is when I think of horror movies, I don't think of Halloween. There's only certain movies that I think of Halloween, and those are the movies that are based around Halloween, as in, i.e., Halloween, or you know what I mean. So you can put yourself as an adult or whatever, or even as a kid or whatever. You can put yourself in a situation where it's Halloween, so we're going to do something to scare ourselves. We're going to sit around and watch the scariest movies we can think of, or we can sit around and watch all the movies that are based around Halloween, which is fucking Michael Myers. I mean, that's about it.
Hocus
Exactly.
pocus, that's what's up.
Yeah, you know what it is in that. Like back in the day, I hated being scared. I was a little punk and a little pussy, and nothing scares me. But now, I take the thriving in it. It's almost being scared. It's almost like a drug. It's like an addiction.
It is.
It's fun.
There's a thrill
The
factor
feeling
to
you
it.
get.
That's why you
I'm
go to
one of those
haunted
people.
houses.
I'm telling you right now, I'm one of those people. If you go somewhere and you start to ruin something that's supposed to be scary for me, I'll literally probably contemplate fighting you.
Yeah.
Legit beat you the fuck up.
And I
experience.
hate that shit. I hate that
Like,
shit.
why are you
Yeah.
making jokes if we're going through a haunted house or something like that?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Shit's
ruining
getting
the
real
fun
and
for
shit's
you.
getting scary.
You
just
put yourself
need
in
to
the
let it
mood
happen.
and the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
It's like enjoying a movie that somebody turns over and just like fact checks it for you. Like it's a fucking movie. Just enjoy it. You know?
All right.
Like, just...
So what we're gonna do for this? We got the 2 minutes left. We're gonna get right back into the same topic. I'm gonna hit the stop, then I'm gonna hit the go live button again, straight through. So if everybody's listening, bear with us. We're gonna have another episode for you within 20 seconds. Exactly.
Deuces.